Welcome to English and Grow. Today's topic is floor materials. So let's dive into it. Let me challenge you. Do you know what cobblestone is? What about marble? What about floor tile? Let's see. So next time you are busy talking about your refurbishment, you can use advanced vocabulary and have much more fun. So the first one is marble. So that's the most precious material, I would say, which you can use for your floor. And I remember when we were in Spain and we were studying some Roman settlement excavations, the guide told us that because of the nearby quarry, basically everyone in the village had a marble floor. Now, I come from a country where almost nobody has marble floor, but you can see that anyway, it depends where you live and what you can afford. So, most people, I would say, nowadays in Europe, especially, I would say that the customers tend to choose floor tiles, which is this material. You can also go for limestone, but not inside, but for your patio, why not? And in some towns, and I also come from a town like that. The paving might be also cobblestone. So in my country, pavement, this special paving is called the cat's heads. Don't ask me why, but in English it is cobblestone. What do we have here? So you can definitely have a wooden floor, and you can choose this geometrical pattern, and you can also choose the tree which you want to use for your shade for your floor. So I believe that number one for most people might be oak. So oak tree is this usually a big tree, which has its fruit, and that fruit is called acorns. And I remember when I was a kid, this was our favorite game, one of our favorite games. We were playing the shop, and the product, the commodity we would sell and buy was also acorns. What about the next one? So birch. How to personalize it? Birch has this black and white bark and it's lighter shade. I personally like it for furniture, but maybe not that much for my floor. What about beech? So that has more amber shade into it, and uh, you can tell that the word beach now has two meanings because it's not just at the seaside where you can sunbathe, but it is also a type of a tree. And the little picture I put on the right is the nuts this tree produces, and they are called beech nuts. Now I have two more trees. So maple, I'm sure you recognize the Canadian symbol of a maple leaf. And the last one I chose is a pine. So that's the only coniferous tree which I have picked for materials in here. Now, how many? 10, 20 years ago in my country, everyone who wanted to have a stylish floor, they would pick this laminate floor. It was called the floating floor. But nowadays, I think it is not that fashionable anymore because we have better materials, and this is vinyl. So this is much softer. You can see also from the picture. You can have lots of shades to choose from, and it is much softer and much more pleasant to the touch. It's not really scratch resistant, not at all. But I believe that if you like high heels, even the neighbors who live under your flat might not actually realize that you are walking in your high heels. But definitely they will tell if you walk in high heels on your laminate floor. So I believe that vinyl is much more user friendly. This one, which I have choose for the next slide, is pebble, and I think this is also a nice style, for example, in your patio, but definitely not in your living room. Maybe for a real extravagant touch. Now let's go for the patterns. So usually, if you go for vinyl, I believe it is always rectangles. I believe. If you go for floor tiles, so you can choose from many patterns. So you can go for squares, Or you can go for hexagons. I think this really looks awesome also. And you can also have a fan pattern. So, do you remember what type of stone is this? Cobblestone. And this one, herringbone, I think this is really elegant and it's also symmetrical, really stylish. I don't have that, but maybe in the future I would go for this style. It's really awesome. The last one, floral. And actually, I have picked one more, and that's picket. So maybe it just looks like little squares made from really narrow rectangles, but this is called picket, and it's connected with this special kind of fence, which is usually see-through, and it is composed of these little narrow rectangles. Anyway, picket. I wanted to put it in the presentation also. And the last one took me a long time to actually find it, and that's a floor baseboard. So, if you want to have a new floor laid for you, so what you pick is not just the material and the style and the design of your floor, but the floor fitter which you hire. They will also tell you that you can combine a special baseboard with it. And what you see in the picture is basically the same shade. I believe that's what most people are going to pick, but it's also nice to create some extravagant combination and to have, for example, darker oak floor together with something lighter for baseboard. It's completely up to you. Why not have fun if it is possible? So let me challenge you. What have you learned? Do you know what pebble is? Do you know what style herringbone is? What about picket? And what about the last one? Floor, baseboard. This is it. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. You can support me. You can subscribe to my Patreon channel. It's called English and Grow. And if you want to have Zoom lessons with me, language coaching, or if you are a teacher and you want teacher mentoring, please visit my website for more information. That's it. Remember, if you ever struggle, like all of us do, remember that every breath is a new beginning. I love you very much. Have a great time, and I see you and I hear you next time.